Today, in this video lecture, I am going to discuss a question from Block 6 of MEG 19, and this question is comment on the narrative style of Yasmin Gunaratne's novel A Change of Skies. So, a narrative style as a blend of seriousness and humor. The narrative style of A Change of Skies is marked by a careful balance between seriousness and humor. So, there is seriousness as well as humor. They are both blended together in this work. Gunaratne deals with complex themes such as immigration, exile, cultural identity, and belonging, but she represents them in a light, engaging manner. Instead of heavy emotional description, she uses wit, irony, and gentle comedy to make difficult expressions easier to understand. This approach allows readers to reflect on serious issues without feeling overwhelmed. A Change of Skies deals with serious themes like migration and identity. The narrative style is not heavy or depressing. Gunaratne chooses humor and gentle storytelling instead of emotional exaggeration. This shows that the novel invites understanding and reflection rather than pity. So, the light tone makes serious social problems more accessible to readers. There is influence of literary training on narrative voice. Gunaratne's academic background as a scholar of English literature strongly shapes her narrative style. Her deep admiration for writers like Jane Austen and Alexander Pope is evident in her controlled prose, polished language, and ironic tone. Like Austen, she observes society closely and exposes its contradictions through humor rather than direct criticism. This literary training gives her narration refinement and intellectual depth. How Gunaratne's training in English literature shapes her narrative style. Her influence from Jane Austen and Alexander Pope gives her writing polish, control, and irony. This shows that the novel is not just a personal story of migration, but a carefully crafted literary work rooted in classical English narrative traditions. Irony as a central narrative device. Irony is most powerful narrative technique used in the novel. Gunaratne herself states that irony is not merely a literary device but a way of survival. In A Change of Skies, irony helps character cope with cultural shock, alienation, prejudice. Instead of reacting with anger or despair, the narrative turns painful situations into moments of laughter, helping both characters and readers maintain emotional balance. So, here we see irony as the most important narrative technique. Irony allows the author to show contradictions in society without directly attacking them. Irony helps the novel question racism, nationalism, and cultural superiority in a subtle but powerful way. It makes readers think rather than feel preached to. Irony as emotional protection. The narrative voice uses irony as a form of defense against the harsh realities of migration. Gunaratne believes irony opens the door from horror into laughter. This is reflected in Jean's narration, where awkward or humiliated immigrant experiences are described with humor. The narrative never denies suffering but softens it through irony, making the experience humane and relatable. Irony as a psychological tool here, and we see that Gunaratne uses irony to protect both characters and readers from emotional pain. This shows that humor does not weaken the seriousness of the novel, instead, it deepens it. Irony becomes a way to survive cultural shock and emotional trauma. Humor and the immigrant experience. Humor plays a vital role in presenting the immigrant experience. Gunaratne explores exile and displacement through amusing incidents that reveal deeper truths. Jean's approach to immigration is to see its funny side. For example, the story of the cook Mutia, who is asked for a recipe book by a guest. humorously exposes colonial assumptions about knowledge and authority. The narrative laughs at prejudice while exposing it. So, humor presents the immigrant experience. Incidents like Cook Muthia a story expose colonial attitudes in a funny way. Humor here becomes a weapon. It reveals power structures and racial assumptions without bitterness. The novel shows that laughter can be a form of resistance. Distance between reader and character. By using irony and humor, Gunaratne avoids excessive emotional identification with her characters. This narrative distance allows readers to think critically rather than react emotionally. Like Jane Austen, Gunaratne invites reflection rather than sympathy alone. The reader observes the character's struggles from a thoughtful distance, which strengthens the novel's post colonial critique. Here we see the use of irony, which prevents excessive emotional involvement. This distance is important because it encourages intellectual engagement. Readers are asked to analyze migration and identity rather than simply sympathize with the characters. This reflects a post colonial strategy where awareness is more important than emotional surrender. Irony and reversal of identity. One of the most striking narrative movements is ironic reversal of identity. At the beginning of the novel, Barry is an outsider in Australia. Later, he mocks an American academic by saying, "Thank the Lord, the poor dope, an American and not Australian." This moment is deeply ironic because Barry himself was once the immigrant. The narrative exposes how easily people forget their own marginality. So, here we see that there is a kind of ironic movement when Barry criticizes another outsider. This reveals how migrants can forget their own marginal past once they gain acceptance. The narrative exposes the fragile and constructed nature of national identity and belonging. Circular use of irony in the immigration theme. The novel completes a full ironic circle in its treatment of immigration. Early in the story, Maureen Trevelyan complains about immigrant miners and immigrant crows, seeing them as threats. By the end, Barry himself calls at Mena and calls it a bloody immigrant. This ironic echo highlights how migrants can unconsciously adopt the same prejudices once directed at them. Irony completes our full circle here. What Australians once said about immigrants is later repeated by immigrants themselves. This shows that prejudice is not limited to natives alone. The novel suggests that power, not nationality, creates exclusion. This circular irony strengthens the novel's critique of migration politics. Mastery of dialogue. Gunaratne uses dialogue with great skill. Her conversations are lively, humorous, and revealing. Through dialogue, she develops characters and debate themes without long explanations. The spoken exchanges feel natural and immediate, making the narrative dynamic. Humor in dialogue keeps the novel energetic and prevents it from becoming overly academic or heavy. So, a dialogue is a major narrative strength. Through conversation, characters come alive naturally. Dialogue replaces long descriptions and keeps the narrative fast and engaging. It makes cultural conflicts feel real and immediate rather than theoretical. Dialogue as thematic debate. Dialogue is also used as a tool for dramatizing cultural conflicts and misunderstanding. Through conversations between immigrants and natives, the narrative explores racism, belonging, and adaptation. Instead of authorial commentary, these ideas emerge organically through speech, making the narrative subtle yet powerful. So, here we see that dialogue is not only for character building but also for discussing ideas. Cultural clashes, misunderstandings, and prejudices appear through speech. This indirect method avoids authorial preaching and allows themes to emerge organically, making the narrative more realistic and convincing. There is presence of multiple narrators and narrative complexity. A Change of Skies employs multiple narratives which adds richness and complexity to its narrative style. The story is told through Edward Berry, who is called as Bharat, and Jean, who is Navranjini here, and even Maureen. Each narrator brings a unique perspective shaped by time, culture, and personal experience. This multiplicity allows the novel to explore immigration across generations. So there is use of multiple narrators. Each narrator offers a different viewpoint shaped by time and experience. This multiplicity prevents a single dominant voice and reflects the complexity of post-colonial identity. Migration is shown as a layered generational experience, shifting historical time frames. So the narrative moves between the 19th century and 20th century, creating a dialogue between past and present. Edward's diary from the 1880s represents a Eurocentric Victorian worldview, while Barry and Jean represent post-colonial globalized world. This contrast allows readers to see how attitudes towards race, migration, and identity have changed and how some prejudices persist. So there is representation of shifting time frames. By placing the 19th century next to the 20th, the novel critiques both colonial and modern attitudes. This comparison exposes how some prejudices change form but do not disappear, strengthening the novel's historical depth. Use of italics and epistolary technique. Gunaratne visually distinguishes narrative planes through italics. Edward's diary entries and Jean's letters to her family are written in italics, marking them as written records. The inclusion of letters introduces the epistolary technique, adding intimacy and emotional depth. These personal writings allow readers direct access to the characters' inner worlds. So from here, we see that there is technical use of italics and letters. These visual markers help readers distinguish narrative layers. The epistolary technique adds intimacy and authenticity. It allows private emotions and personal thoughts to enter the larger public narrative of migration. Intertextual references, and global voice. The narrative is enriched by quotations from classical and modern writers such as Horace, Swift, John Wolfgang, Hayden, Wilson Harris. These references connect the novel to global literary tradition. They also reflect the multicultural, post-colonial world of the novel, where voices from different cultural cultures coexist and interact. So, this paragraph talks about or explains how quotations from global writers expand the novel's scope. These references place a change of skies within world literature. They reflect the global, multicultural reality of post colonial life and show that identity is shaped by many cultural influences. Framing structure, prologue, and epilogue. The novel is carefully structured with prologue and an epilogue. The prologue belongs to Edward from the past, while the epilogue is narrated by Edwin, the daughter of Barry and Jean. Edwina represents the future, cosmopolitan, confident, and globally rooted. This framing suggests hope and continuity, showing how migration ultimately leads to new identities and new possibilities. So this talk about the structural importance of the prologue and epilogue, beginning with Edward and ending with Edwina, symbolizes past, present, and future. The novel ends on hope, suggesting that migration leads to hybrid cosmopolitan identities rather than loss alone. The narrative style in A Change of Skies is rich, layered, and thoughtfully crafted. Through irony, humor, multiple narrators, dialogue, and structural innovation, Yasmin Gunaratne presents the immigrant experience with sensitivity and intelligence. Her narrative technique not only entertains but also deeply critiques cultural prejudice and celebrates the emergence of a global post colonial identity. So it shows that Gunaratne's narrative style is intelligent, ironic, multi-layered and humane. Her techniques help readers understand migration not just as movement across borders but as a complex emotional and cultural journey. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.